of dive here. And how is Guma gonna get to play this game? There is a Orion and Nocturne that's always going to look for him because Faker's going to play Ahri, and Ahri has her own dashes. Plus, you're going to have a Nautilus casting Nautilus ult on you. It's like Guma does not get to play.
Positions we're likely to see one.
I mean, if you want to get away from a Draven Nautilus, then there's definitely a possibility there. A little delayed invade there.
Oh, Mickey. Mickey, Kerry is there. Mickey tries to dredge line away. The charm moots him in place. And I don't think Mickey needs to burn the flash here. He knows he's done for. First blood to T1.
And immediately move bot, gets bot one, covers there in the mid play for Caps too. And now you're in a position where you've a bit of a nice 8 CS lead for yourself.
Zenith played in. Kerry's going to have to flash away. Hans Summer. One more adoration for Hans Summer on his Draven.
Just a little bit first.
I mean, Zeus has Flash, has the explosive cast. Hans has both his summoners as well, but Hans Summer continues to put axes into the back of Zeus. The cleanse away from Hans flashes forward. Zeus flashes away, will get the slow with the cask. Hans now in the middle of the minions, doesn't have a ward to place. Zeus can open up and Zeus. G2 will start up the grubs. T1 are looking for a Barney. They're looking for a fight here. Mickey looking for that hook. Owner stepping forward, eats an axe. Caps and Mickey standing around the side. Caps low mana. They go into Carrier. Paranoia. There's the shockwave as well. Meanwhile, in the bottom, Broken Blade's going to look to try and keep Zeus around. One already over as Yike kills off Carrier. Owner's killed Caps though. And now Yike has to run from Faker and Gumayushi. Owner so low in the pit. He gets two. Hans Summer will answer with one. Cleanses away, but he's not going to be able to get too much more here. He can get a second. Gumayushi able to win out the fight in the end. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, much ado about nothing.
The Dragon #2 here for T1, which Owner's able to clean up. Faker does not have teleport.
Already used. Zeus caught out with a counter-strike though, and Zeus is met with the whirling death. The curtains open. Hans Summer's so low, but Broken Blade can tank that up well enough as G2 managed to escape with a kill. Caps is looking for a little bit more though. Gumayushi has the flash, has the barrier, and I think G2 realized they can't really dive this.
T1 has been the priority, and now after resetting with Rift Herald, T1 have a lot of options for themselves. Looks like they're going to try and fight G2 off of this bottom quadrant of the map.
Saw this not work out for DK yesterday. We'll see if T1 have a better affair as there's the suppress immediately. They lock them in. The shock wave coming out as well as Broken Blade tries to survive. The tower will dive, but Caps is low. Faker diving forward, the paranoia on him, and Mickey's going to be the first to pull. G2 all hail the retreat. Try to get the hell out of here because T1 are hungry for blood. Faker will find another as T1 find two in the bot lane dive.
And if Yike can get one more level, you actually get a nice range boost on your ultimate, but
Solar Flare. Yike puts up the shroud. In goes the stinger, and down onto the backline goes Yike. Looking for that paranoia. Mickey knocked in as well. Gumayushi has to flash away. The whirling death coming out from Hans Summer. And Faker's on the flank. Carrier chased out by Broken Blade. There'll be one. Faker trying to get onto Hans Summer as well. Lands the charm. Owner's there to help. The cleanse from Hans is not enough. And now it's a 3v4. T1 advancing again. Gumayushi was able to escape. Faker has another spirit rush. The charm goes wide. Yike and Caps alongside Broken Blade able to.
Faker's build not only is it very burst heavy, but it's also very far ahead. Oh, never mind.
Into the shockwave, they look for Gumayushi. He doesn't have the flash, and they will find him. Another hook's going to land onto Owner as the chase continues. Zeus coming in with the explosive cast, though, and G2 have to be careful because TP coming in from Faker. Mickey dodges away from the explosive cast, pulls Carrier in. The charm goes wide on Summer. Still cleanses just in case. T1 lose one. It's only Guma down. Mickey, a sense of what's going on inside it. Broken Blade looking for the flank. No flash on him, but does have that Grandmaster's Might. Mickey looking for the engage, but realizes pretty sharpish that he can't go for it. Still charmed up. Spirit rush forward by Faker. There's the curtain calls as well, and it's curtains for Mickey. Carrier takes him. And T1 take the Baron. They are in firm control of the game as Hans Summer's over step 2. Hans Summer's down 2. T1 6k ahead, a soul, a Baron, and maybe more as Broken Blade's charmed. And T1 continue to collapse. The jump away from Broken Blade will keep them safe for a moment, but T1 are knocking on the door.
Dude, Zeus is just the GOAT.
He's MVP, holy moly.
He is such a playmaker.
Very small window there to engage. They did have a little bit of vision. A TP coming in. Zeus will be the one on the front line, Faker will be the one on the back, but Zeus immediately locked up. You can see how much damage he can tank. Faker going in with the charm, it goes wide. Zeus almost falls to the whirling death surprise, and he still has the locket. Faker dodges away from the hook, Zeus going back in, and there's your contribution. Mickey falls, the shockwave from Caps. All it can do is buy him a second to wait. The flash charm from Faker. It's all done, it's all over. But the Nexus falling, T1.
Limped through summer, but this is Worlds, and they are here to stay.
Broken Blade and Yike trying to do anything, but they still have the impale, the suppression afterwards with the Edge of Ishtar, the chase onto Yike, the explosive cask, and as you say, Zeus godly with his placements today. The Nexus towers fall, and T1 will go one game away from Paris and quarterfinals. Mickey gets a kill.
Worth. Nexus for the support
The
kill,
mental
but-
game. It's the mental
Yeah.
game.
Holy moly. The god.
T1 saying we're 6-2 against you all year. You think it's gonna go any differently? Not in game one, it's not. And oh my god, can we just talk about the Gragas pick that really glued everything together, not to mention that it was executed.
And is non-committal. The problem is the hook is committal, and that's what Mickey was using a lot of the time.
And this is just so all-in dive. It is so threatening. Again, even in Champ Select previously, we're like, wow, it's probably going to be very hard for Guma to play the game.
You shouldn't be. NRG played better.
Honestly, though, on your point for this T1 roster too, remember back to last year and their run and all of the interviews talking about
where Caps does not. So this could very quickly turn into a 5v4. Broken Blade very low on rage as well, starting to build it up as he jumps onto Ona. He's only a third of the way there so far. Ona going lower though, Dustbringer coming out, double flash as Mickey looked for the flash hook. Meanwhile in the bot lane, Caps trading up with Zeus. Carrier going back in, Faker with the Spirit Rush, has 2 charges left. G2 need to get away because Faker can look for another Spirit Rush, another Orb of Deception. Won't find too much more. G2 start up the grub.
Looks like they're just going to shift Faker up towards that top side. I wasn't sure if they just went all in on trying to burn that flash, but Mickey.
Oh, Faker goes in with the Spirit Rush, the charm landing as well, and Mickey is done for. First blood in the first 2 games. Mickey dies. Ona takes the kill.
by Ari. It's interesting because Broken Blade doesn't have teleport, but Owner's actually heading towards Broken Blade rather than the Void Grubs.
Yeah, he's looking for this play down towards the bottom side. Broken Blade flashes immediately met with a fist in his face. Broken Blade trying to get away from this. Obviously, has to try and escape from Owner, who flashes forward. Another Vault Breaker. Broken Blade trying to dodge it. Owner holds it forever. Owner finds another.
Here down for some of the turret places. Faker, no way he catches Mickey again.
You put everyone on pause when you said that. Everyone's like...
Oh, Mickey looking for the hook here. So Yike can come in with the paranoia. There's the depth charge as well to chase forward. Kerry has joined his mid laner. Faker flashes away. The ignite ticking on him won't be enough. That's the stun into the shield of the Wraith. Daybreak into the solar flare into the death of Yike.
Output. Oh, bot side.
Oh, Zeus flashes away. He's hit with a house. And Caps and Broken Blade find a kill. Carrier's looking to collapse here as well as Gumayushi, but this tower is already quite low. Down to top lane, he's going to TP away. Will he escape? You can see it on the minimap. The Counter-Strike finds him alongside the cease and desist, and Broken Blade doesn't have a hope in hell of escaping this one. Zeus leaps on his face.
To the point that Zeus is going to be able to control side lanes. Faker is going to be able to
Another
get
charm
hits.
hits once again. Mickey thought he was safe in his own jungle. You can see already 2,500 gold ahead. Now with the Rift Tower charging through mid, they're going to open up the map and make it so much more tricky for G2 to do anything. Charm wide there by Faker, but he's just creating space. The solar flare hits. Hans Summer has to burn the cleanse, and Zeus is on the flank. The counter strike. Hans Summer flashes it. Rift Tower charge forward. Zona can jump across that wall and look for Hans Summer. Yike with a fear, only onto Zeus. They're looking for the damage. The Shockwave will find him. Hans Summer surviving up towards the top side for as long as he can in the face of Owner, but now he's down and Kerry is down alongside him. G2 find 2. They lose their mid-tier 1. Drake Capice means there's no soul point soon, but we see Caps pushing in the top lane and the TP behind. Zeus on the collapse, has the flash. Caps goes one way, Zeus goes the other. Now he tracks back, knowing that Caps is there. The paranoia coming out as Mickey and Yike look to collapse. The flash away from the shockwave from Zeus is gorgeous. And once
They definitely have some really good looks here.
Evie's just finished his Mega now and he's gone in.
he still gets the Gnar into the wall. The backline, Gumayushi flashes away. The shockwave, I think we're a little bit early there as Broken Blade is forced low. Spirit Rush forward by Faker as T1 begins to collapse. And Mickey's burst on the menu again. Faker with a Spirit Rush across the wall, looking for Yike. No curtain call connects, and G2 are able to walk away.
Great G2 trying to move in mid, but they could get collapsed on from behind.
There's a pincer movement brewing here.
Teleport.
See the TP behind, that's
Faker.
Faker. Counter TP being used by Broken Blade. Curtain Call coming in as the stopwatch is used. Dion onto the backline, jumps Gumayushi, a good shockwave as well onto Zeus. And now we see Hans Summer having to try and get away from this. Owner going in as he puts the damage down onto Caps. Owner flashing away, Zeus the same. The killer instinct from Hans Summer gets Zeus in response. Now Faker diving around the fight, a hook coming out. Broken Blade trying to get into the Mega Gnar. He'll jump on their heads. Gooba stopped them. Faker escaping. Carrier slammed into the wall. On the top side, Yike killed off Gumayushi. After not using the shockwave, but immediately they do. Paranoia in, Faker down, solar flare onto the backline as well. We see Hans Summer falling for it. Mickey trying to get into this fight. Broken Blade on his way across as well. Carrier, Owner there as well with Guma. Yushi trying to get away, doesn't have the flash. Owner doesn't. Carrier goes back in with the Zenith Blade. He's a sacrifice. A sacrificial lamb for G2.
Forced to make a decision here. Is it going to be a dangerous face check, or are they going to try and get control of the mid wave first?
Mickey looking for the hook. There's the charm. Deadly Flush going in. Owner looking for that back line. The solar flare hits two. Paranoia coming out. Owner can't go in with the engage. Zeus now locked out. Pops a stopwatch to buy himself a little bit of time. He's feared though. The shockwave hits onto Owner as he looks for the engage. Goes in with the cease and desist. The Guardian Angel still sitting on Owner's shoulders. Will bring him back to life. Broken Blade with a good double R into the wall. Owner trying to get back in with that shield from the Vault Breaker, but he will fall. Baker can't escape Broken Blade. Gumayushi now trying to dance his way away, but the eyes are on Carrier for G2. They're looking for one more. Gumayushi will have the fleet, will have the move speed from this Jhin. Broken Blade chucks a house out, can't quite land it onto Guma's back. Caps with the dissonance, there's the slow from the red buff. They dodge the captive audience, and Guma's down 2. An ace for G2.
G2 are coming!
So durable for G2, they're just bullying them.
Solar Flare, Hansama dodges, only gets slowed. Broken Blade goes in with an arm only onto Owner. Zeus is TP'd in behind, and he dives onto Hansama immediately. And Hansama has a stopwatch, but he doesn't have much life left afterwards. He manages to get away with the killer instinct, but Mickey and Caps are only down. Owner face plants the wall this time. Broken Blade left it to his own devices, and T1 clean him up. The flash in from Zeus with a counter-strike. Mickey trying to dredge line his way out of this one, but Faker's on the chase, as is Carrier. And Mickey, those hooks are sending you to Davy Jones's locker. Baker will take it. T1 will take the fight.
Mickey is gone 6 feet under, but G2 cannot fathom how T1 have got in behind them so consistently. It was a delay played on the TP. It's a delay take on Mickey because 50 seconds until Dragon will...
Wait, Zeus has hiding once again. Look at him.
You can see Mickey's only just getting off towards where the red buff is. The Paranoia comes out. It's Guma that secures the Drake. They're looking up towards the top side. Zeus caught out with the Paranoia, gets the counter-strike, but there's the fear as well. The killer instinct coming in from Hansama as they look to catch out Zeus. The rest of T1 trying to come back to defend their top laner, but Zeus will be down before they can get there. G2 find one. All Owner needs to do is get into this pit, and he might be able to snipe this away. The curtain's open. An encore for Gumayushi. Owner gets into it! And he takes it! Owner will pay the ultimate price for his ability to steal the Baron. He keeps the tankiness the minions get from the Baron buff. They'll be spawning in a few seconds' time for T1. There they are. They'll help them defend. Faker goes in. Dead charge. Shockwave! There's 2 knocked up, but Zeus is already on the back line. The Gnar coming out from Broken Blade as well. Zeus is doing so much work. Caps down. Hansama running for his life. Faker charms up Broken Blade. Zeus is just ripping through G2. Faker survives on the backline. Yike trying to do everything he can. The Paranoia will help him take out his enemy jungler. Hansama trying to survive here. Zeus has to call off the chase, but T1 wants... So there's no deep wards possible unless Carrier has snuck his way in behind somewhere. The hook's going to land onto Owner. They look for the engage. Owner now has to burn the flash. Zeus has his TP and he's going to match the supers pushing in the top side. G2 have control of the river right now. Solar Flare, Hansama only slowed. But Caps is the one they dive into and immediately assassinate him. Caps is swimming with the fishes and Hansama is going to join him. T1 immediately pounce and G2 don't know what hit him.
T1 are forever clutch and G2 are finding out about it in the worst.
Looking to defend their world title.
A minute left on this Elder Dragon as well means that 2 more waves that you have to try and hold off. But I don't even know if you get that. Team 1 can just start to look at Nexus turrets off this wave.
It's got to be something miraculous. You've got a GA on Gumayushi, you've got Faker with the Spirit Rush, the curtain's open. I don't think G2 is getting a second act. The dive onto the backline by Yike, but immediately he is low. Caps already assassinated on the back. And T1 are just ripping them to shreds. T1 absolutely melting G2 under their Nexus towers. History doesn't repeat itself, but it damn well rhymes. It's another Friday. It's another T1 win.
Monumental stuff from T1. The incredible...
As EU fans, hopefully, I mean, they're probably just still crying, myself included, but I had to wipe my tears off because we have another series. That's how that one went, 2-0 in the end. That does mean that G2 gets another chance to live another day, but their fate will be decided.
The biggest of clusters we're going to have. These team fights will be a big bang, for sure.
Can we just get another play-by-play on the desk instead of one of you guys for the team fights?
Just say, look at the explosions. Oh, there's the Ezreal. Okay, so that was the other, part of the AD carries I was mentioning earlier. So much goes along with this series as well with You know, the interview and Maple kind of referencing that.
Not having that flash available for that combo is going to be a bit sad.
Flash in onto On here, doesn't have the exhaust and a flash of his own. Zenith plays onto Junja to try and get himself away. Exhaust on the Sejuani, not the target you want. Jun trying to join the fray. Elk having to cleanse flash away as Jun is now caught with a Shadowing Strike, and PSG find first blood in the bot lane and will force Jun away. This is not where BLG expected to be. It's kind of where PSG expected to be, as Betty should be able to go away here. The Zenith Blade going in. Betty trying to trade back onto Elk. On went in with the Zenith Blade himself. Doesn't have the exhaust up. Now he's taking the Magna Storm coming out as well. And what is On doing? Looking for the engage, thinking Shun would back him. Take a Drake for themselves. They know they can then go across and even try to catch Knight out, who'll get the Blast Cone, but Junja's going to follow him across. Knight still has the flash, has the ult, has the dash with the weirding. Caught out with the Glacial Prison. True Shot Barrage coming out as well. And Knight now has to invest that Summoner to escape the clutches of Junja. Junja and Woody looking for the invade towards the red buff. They have pushing mid, they have pushing bot. Betty here to join the battle. Maple gets the first move, can look for a flank here with the Fate Seal, dashes forward, unbinds his soul, On down to half HP. The Solar Flare goes in with a bullet time, and that's 2 locked up, and Woody's the first to fall. Maple was distracted by Knight. Betty dashing back in between worlds. Knight can look for more. Maple dives in with a Fate Seal, but BLG will happily take the triple for Elk.
Still relatively low, and Azure snuck in here, but there's so many members of BLG collapsing.
Shun cleared out the ward. See On his way up as well. TP coming in as PSG. Well, they're not going to do anything to help out Azure here. He's dead. Knight takes it. Still fighting over this dragon. TP coming in from Azure as well. He's just finished the Shadow Flame. 2 items on the cannon. Bin will TP to the control ward down towards the top side of the fight. Jun is in the pit. Azure is behind them. There's a control ward there. Betty putting damage into the On right now. Jun going in with the Cyclone onto the backline. Finds Maple but doesn't find Betty. Azure and PSG will disengage the fight. Jun has to flash the wall, but he's locked up with his Fate Sealed. Bin now in the pit trying to battle against Junjun and Maple, but BLG are all retreating. Will PSG look for more?
PSG, they're on Baron. In the last team fight, they divide and conquer. Can they just get this objective?
Bin uses the Hex there to see the information. Woody diving in, and he stops Elp from putting on the bullet time. The Slicing Maelstrom on the back line as well. Knight's in the pit, but Maple puts him in the dirt. Bin now going in for a little bit more, but can't land the counter-strike onto Maple. Another is down. On has fallen. And they got the stun as well onto Elk, who has the flash and will use it to dash away from any follow-up engage. Sun going in with the Cyclone, trying to make a Hurricane rip through PSG. They'll find one already. Jun stunned up. Azure flashing away from the Solar Flare. All the while, Betty and Maple were pushing.
With their performance, where they didn't look as clean as they possibly could have, but here.
Cyclone again from Jun. True Shot Barrage coming out from Betty as well. Between worlds, Jun just locked up in it. He'll flash across. On falling low, 200 HP on him now as Betty looks to open up. Fate Sealed, the Slicing Maelstrom coming in too. Jun's down, Bin's down, On's down! And BLG are up!
They have to pull out the surprise play.
I think a lot of people forget that this was...
behind.
Oh, hang on, TP
behind. Woody's going to be engaged on here, but On is now in the meat grinder. Maple goes in with the Fate Sealed, and Azure is just waiting for his opportunity to open up. Bin's taken one. The Slicing Maelstrom will find another, though. Betty being chased out by Jun. He'll flash away. Jun dies to Betty, and Betty survives. Bin diving in onto Maple, who can unbind his soul and then dash back. Junja trying to keep the dragon aggro for now. Maple. Well, it has the flash, but no cleanse. Bin TP's in. Junja's looking for it. And Elk finds one. The shutdown. He'll find another great cleanse from Elk. Junja able to survive. But Bin will take the Drake. The MF, because you have that strut on. That Solar Flare was a mile wide. On gets caught with the Glacial Prison, has no flash, has the exhaust, will get away for now. The world's between as Woody trying to escape, but he's just burst out by Elk. Those 4 items coming to the fore for BLG. A Cyclone onto Junja, who has the flash as well. The bullet time comes out, the Slicing Maelstrom, as Bin is trying to dive across them. Betty and Maple, the only 2 left alive for PSG. Maple will flash, but the bullet still finds his back. BLG setting up something here. Junja able to dodge away from On, puts the Glacial Prison back in him. Down to half HP, the Mystic shots from Betty, and On is off! Betty now locked in the pit with Knight, but do you really want to be locked in there with him? The TP in from Azure as well, looking for that Slicing Maelstrom. Remember, there's no exhaust as well, because On is down, no flash for Azure. But trying to get the push through mid, through Maple. Bin still looking for that flank. Woody's going to try and mark him. They see him, the counter-strike goes in. The bullet time as well, Azure's ripped to pieces. Fate Sealed from Maple isn't enough. Bin diving onto Woody, and that's 2. Betty forced away, has to dash away from Jun, and Bin is just doing so much work on the back line. It's a double for Elk. The flank sublime from BLG.
At the end of the day, it's been Jax in back.
Needed to be that follow-up and damage, and he's putting PSG down.
It's Betty's time to shine. He opens up on Elk, who tanks the tower. Bin going in with a counter-strike as well. They'll just take one Nexus tower for now, but Betty gets the slow. Knight goes in, and Betty dashes away. He can't survive the weirding. Puts him 6 feet under, and now BLG will open up on the second Nexus tower. Woody going back in, looking for Bin again, but Bin somehow still survives. PSG wiped away under their Nexus towers. Azure spawns just in time to watch the Nexus fall.
What a comeback.
We were never in doubt. Number 1 seed.
Yeah, look at the lovely gold graph. That is an LPL gold graph, people. If you've never watched LPL, this is exactly what so many games look like. BLG, if they come out and stomp game 2, I will be so mad because this is the BLG special, right? Looking either like dropping the first
And not
game.
actually give over a ton of stacks to this motor because you're not playing that melee matchup in the mid lane.
And this is something, you know, people were like theory crafting on the 14-18 bust that the Jace got, but never really had a strong foothold. You only saw like very small instances of victors. So we'll see if they can get it over the line here. Smolder, of course, you know, once you get your rapid fire cannon, then you've got, you know, your range and your little bit of poke as well. But we'll see if they can actually get to that stage of the game, because
Then being able to freeze it out, he has the cull. There's already 49 stacks left on it, so he's over halfway towards completing it. But because of the way that they then push the lane out, see Ginger actually getting caught here as Jun going in for the engage on with a great hook, and Ginger falls for first blood.
And to your point, Medic, this is what Prime BLG looks like. This movement from On, constantly shifting around the map, holding positions so then he can get out. And
Is no longer an option for Maple. Jun should be able to chase him down, who dash across the wall with a flap, flap, flap. Knight still chasing here, Glacial Prison used just to make sure that this dragon is going extinct alongside his buddies. Knight will secure the kill, his second of the game. Don't think Azure is the one that I really want to funnel it on.
You got to point it somewhere else. Yeah.
Try and get some on Maple, who's about 700 gold behind in the mid lane and maybe more, as there's the flash engage from Shun. Solo queue recently and in ARAM, but Kobe, do you want to elucidate why he may have gone this?
Well, it's obviously because of the world song, Heavy Lies the Crown, and it's a crown.
also, if you can't get a murder book, you need a murder crown.
Oh, as we see Shun getting caught up here. PSG trying to fight it. Bin going in with the counter-strike. Woody misses, but gets the charm, doesn't get the knock-up, and now he needs to get the hell out of there. Depth charge onto Ginger. It's another for Knight. He's stacking the hubris. Put them back.
He's just doing the exact same thing.
Woody looking for the engage onto Elk, who dodges away with the killer instinct, has that flash as well. We'll have to invest it. Should be able to force Azure out of this bush. Goes in with the counter-strike. Knight dives in onto Maple. The quickness coming out as they look to dive onto to Knight. Mom is called. Azure now on the front line. BLG will disengage. That made me sad. I love the little golden statues. As Ginger tries to hover around this bot side to keep this tower alive. Maple's here as well. Shun is going to meet him. Impale lands onto one. The dredge line short from On. Elks, though, still looking for the plate. There's one minion still alive. On will now tank up the tower, and Woody will have a grand entrance and give On a grand.
Could be very big for their dream of team fighting their way out of it. And Shin is going to be able to execute no problem. Does get all the way into enemy territory. So no further benefit gain there, but
sneezing all over BLG. Woody looking for that flank, has the quickness, has the flash in a couple of seconds. The engage with the Glacial Prison. Feather Storm coming out from Betty, quickness from Woody. They're looking for On, but the depth charge will lock him up for a second. On now, sacrificed by BLG. As PSG managed to find a kill. Bin still pushing in the bot side. Jun being chased out by Azure, but doesn't quite land the stun into the wall. Jun just still looking for Elk, who has the cleanse, but goes for Knight instead. Pulls him back. Where's the damage? It's Azure right now. The Keeper's verdict is that Knight is guilty. He has the Keeper's verdict in a few seconds, still has his flash. Betty trying to come across as well. He's met with Knight. The accelerated shock blast doing a lot of work. On looking for that turret. TP coming in from PSG as they look to collapse. On not tanking the tower yet, has that concussive blow. Steadfast presence coming out. There's the quickness. It's only onto the tank so far, but On's the first target. Glacial Prison coming down as well with Slow Maple for a second, but Ginger's here to join the Barney, to join the fight. PSG find another bin, is pinged.
How quickly PSG can get across the map. They reset on bound.
Azure goes for Elk. Gets the cleanse out of him in exchange for his flash. Ginger and Woody, though, can look for this, and Elk back in a precarious situation. Ginger just go for the Kaiser, killer instinct out. TP behind by Bin as well. The Impale hits on to Elk. Bin looking to do what he did in game one, but the verdict is that he can't get in there. In the
Poppy shows on the wave. Jace TP's in.
There's the TP in. Azure can TP as well. Will answer with one of his own. BLG moved up as 4 for now. Bin's going to join them. Ginger trying to get in towards the pit to take the Drake. Unlocked up. The Blade Caller coming back as well, and Ginger will land the smite. But Woody goes down first. Shun and Bin, the next 2 targets. It's support for support so far. Azure still looking for a little bit more. Knight, the Manamoon in the Spear of Sojourn. 2 as well for Knight, or 2.5 with the last Whisper in his inventory. Maple still sacking up a little bit slow as the hook goes down onto Ginger. There's the double impale into the grand entrance, but the charm coming back with the quickness into the Blade Caller. Look at the CC, look at the suppression on BLG, and look at the flash forward from Betty. He tries to get onto Elk, he can't quite get the damage down. Elk somehow survives.
Tiny bit more.
Behind. Elk not here. Knight the first target. Azure locks him up for a second, on going forward as well. Azure still trying to chase Knight out. Bin here to join the party as On flashes away. Keeper's verdict on Bin is that he needs to come back in a couple of moments. He's going to TP behind them here, but perhaps PSG have a moment in the 4v5 to really open up. Mom comes down, the Featherstorm used as well, but Bin finds the 4-man stun on the back line. Elk cleanses away the Blade Caller route, and once again it's Giga Bin absolutely styling on Fools.
Working on the Frozen Heart, so he can be a tank in the middle.
On looking for the hook here onto Azure, goes in with the depth charge as well. He's impaled, the quickness on the backline, but already BLG have taken 1 kill. It's 1 for 1 so far. On and Azure falling. Betty having to pop the Featherstorm.
Bin.
It's Bin, baby! Already we see Elk killing off Betty. Bin looking for a little bit more as Woody dashes out of the fight. Bin wasn't even Bin. Maple has hit that execution threshold, and looks like PSG are trying to collapse onto Bin. No flash for him, no way out, you gotta feel. Goes back in with the counter strike.
No way.
Who needs a way out? This is Bin we're talking about, and then he dashes away with a leap strike. Series against FlyQuest as well. It was a very close game in the early game until FlyQuest really began to take it away. They're still looking for more here, though, as Ginger goes in with the impale. The quickness coming out as well is stopped by the depth charge, but Knight is locked against the wall, and Bin, even he can't rectify this situation, can't bail them out. The Blade Caller back onto On, who has to flash away himself. Elk now joining the battle, a double counter strike as the engage goes on to Azure, but BLG have only found 1 so far. Betty's on that front line, no Featherstorm for him, and Bin finds it again. I doubted him for a second, but he makes you believe that Jax is the most OP pick in the game. It's Bin again to clean it up for BLG.
Bin decimates PSG Talon, and with that, they will be bowing out of the World's Championship, but for BLG, it's only 1 more step on what is a long road ahead of them.
BLG are looking to get to 2-2, to challenge for the quarterfinals, to continue to level up as they defeat PSG and go to the next round.
Studio, maybe there is some
LEC
adjustment.
Studio, we've heard things.
We can give them, whatever the reason is, the performances up until today certainly were not there. And while today was a hot mess, I think at this point, if you're BLG, you're happy to get the wins where you can, and you want to just start building this momentum as we go forward in the tournament, especially because, like, again, we highlight